But I also cannot say electronics if it's like those two. I cannot say the difference.
Okay.
Oh, we're live.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Eluktronics live stream. We have some invited guests from our Delaware Repair Center, and we're looking forward to sharing some game playing with you, opening the floor for questions, and we'll go from there.
Well said. Perfect. So, Evan, may I get a peek of what everybody is looking at? Because I can't quite see with you in that position. Is there any chance? Geez, if we only had a projector in here, Will, a projector would be nice.
Coming right up.
No, but I'll pull it up on my phone. So if anybody has any questions, ask away. It's going to be very casual today. Right now we're playing a little bit of Rocket League. We can do some 1v1 if you want to see somebody beat the living crap out of me in that game. Pretty much. Farmer, what, you've got this. Evan, you going to play a little bit too?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, I guess we can keep this going for, what do you think, maybe an hour? Should be appropriate. The units that you can see playing Rocket League right now with Riva Tuner, it just has a 4080. I adjusted a few settings. Everything's running on air, and it's nice and cool and quiet. Actually, it's much quieter than the 3080 Ti here. Wouldn't you agree? Like, you can hear this one.
I can hear yours, but
Yeah.
I can't hear mine at all.
The question I want answered is, Evan, how long is it going to take you to beat Farmer?
Can you do it this year?
It'll be a long time, don't worry.
Is Farmer actually better?
Yeah, he's good.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He's playing on my account right now and just destroying people, not even trying. Which says a lot about how good I am at the game, but... Hey, Prima, thank you for joining. He said it's pizza time. It's always pizza time for
it is
Prima.
always pizza time. I love pizza.
Hello from Germany, Ninja. Thank you for joining us. What is your local time in Germany right now?
This is cool. Actually, there's with the amount of people that are on here right now,
Really?
we've got many from all
Can you
over
hand
the
me
world.
that phone
Germany,
holder?
India. Prima, I'm not
Thank
too
you, brother.
sure where you are as of right now.
No.
Oh, please share.
Did we introduce everyone, by the way? We have.
No.
I don't. Can everyone see me on the screen here? I'm gonna point, and if I'm not showing
Here,
on the
hold on.
screen. Okay, so from Delaware, who we have joining us today, we have Matt, Keith, and Perry. And you guys know John, our COO, Evan.
Hello.
Farmer is next to Bob, and we've got Mr. Bob of all trades. Oh yeah, Matt, you are coming. I didn't realize.
Oh, hello from India. Right on. Thank you for joining. Oh, he's coming back, Farmer.
No.
I saw it.
Playing.
I saw it. We got to turn the controller right side up. You can't play it upside down this time.
Is Farmer on the top right?
Yeah, I'm blue. I'm the Mustang. Oh.
Yeah, he's playing on my account, which is easy mode for him.
I didn't want to make it like. I didn't want to crush this guy's hopes and dreams.
Oh, I love it.
I was expecting a lot of banter and backfire from me.
He's beat me at once.
The only time you won is when you put me on a keyboard.
Typing has always been a challenge for you, hasn't it,
It
Farmer?
has. You know, I didn't learn that in school. I learned cursive.
Nit.
Are last gen Macs that use LPP1 compatible with LPP2?
Last gen Max with LPP1. You can have an LPP G2 on your 12th gen system, but you can't have that without an adapter. And there's a special adapter that you need for that. Last gen Max that use LPP1, yeah, they are compatible. It just they're actually, as a matter of fact, we added on our website an option. So if you're buying the LPP G2, just make sure when you're doing it, you're choosing the option for your generation of your product. We have AMD set up for the 6900HX, for the Intel for the i9 12900H, and then obviously for our latest 13900HX, it's available. Just for reference though, those particular ones, they're still back order. I think I don't know how, we have not gotten the extra adapters for the 12th gen and the Ryzen, but that's what we're waiting on. In terms of performance between the LPPs, I wouldn't say there's really a delta between the two. It's really just more so having the option to just easily unplug, and the self-sealing connection is really nice on this latest generation for 13th gen. But no, I wouldn't say you're going to see a delta in performance between the two.
No, thermally they should be identical.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it still has the same exact pump on the inside. So
It's just the new one's really slick. It's quite an evolution.
yeah.
Yeah. This is a ride. Can you guys hear this system over here? I've got it tuned just like I do the 40 series, and it's louder. It's really cool how, pun intended, but it's really cool how much.
Is that the
3080 Ti and 4080. Like the efficiency of the newer stuff, even though they're all power hogs when they're dialed in.
That's not on Max fans.
No.
No.
No, but this is the one you can hear. Both wattage and everything's been dialed in, but the 40 series is.
GPU
yeah,
79,
the
so I got
performance,
CPU
yeah.
at 82C,
Yeah, we're about.
and it drops.
I've got the PL1 and PL2 set up at 35 watts. Make it all proper. And I have actually, you know what? Here's what it is. I have your machine capped at 240. That's why.
Frames.
Yeah, because that's going to match the target frequency of the display. So, which I could probably do on here. So perhaps I spoke too soon.
I want at least 1,000 frames, though.
1,000 frames. Got it. Coming right up.
I don't even want to be able to see any difference.
I can do it. Give me a second.
Make it like real life.
That's what I answered. Yeah,
There we go.
we do have the adapters. Yeah.
My eyes can see 10,000 frames a second.
If
Oh yeah,
anyone
sorry,
buys here
Jonathan
could.
Lee. Yep, Ryzen Max are waiting for
You're
the
our guy.
LPP G2 adapters to work. So meaning Ryzen mech has your 6900HX if that's what you have.
Considering I can't
That is
go
what
different
we're
keyboards
waiting
this
on.
year.
It's the cable itself that we're
You
waiting to
can.
connect
You're just not on this
for
game.
the GP.
But if you
the
played a shooter
LPP
with a mouse, you
G2.
could tell. With a controller, it'd be tough. You'll be able to tell.
It's,
With a mouse,
it's
you
a
can
whole
do it.
cable. Like I would imagine the way that's going to end up is it will be a specific cable that it's going to plug into that side versus the other. So the self-sealing, well, technically the one side will have its connection like it typically would to the G2, obviously.
I
then
can't,
the
but I
other
want to
side
play
should
with
be
him, and he's
like
finishing his
the
game.
class pinching part.
You don't think it'll be like
And then we just have to sync up on our friends list. Unless we're already pals on there, are we?
like when you go to drain it? That was my thought.
I see.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll see because I've
Like the draining process.
Yeah.
But then on the other end, it's be magnetic and then just quick.
yeah, that's the one. I don't know. We'll see.
Jonathan Lee, you are correct. We're just waiting on adapters.
Also, I did have a question on the website we had for the newer system for the 4000. Customers able to purchase the LPP1 package. Is there going to be
Ninja asked, do you have any question?
There
Oh,
can
okay,
be the
issues with
option
coil
for
line.
LPPG1 on 13th gen. Yeah,
It's really hard to tell.
that's a good.
The
question. I don't
environment
even
that we
know how
build
works.
these in is much louder than if you were to take this and put it in your own home.
Yeah.
I can't say we've had coil
hyper
line
little guy.
issues, but when we do test these machines in-house, the decibels within the facility are much louder than what they would be at your own home, which is interesting for me because I was under the impression that our LPPs were very silent, but once I take them to my own home, I can't hear them. But to be fair, I'm very experienced with coil wine, having reviewed hundreds of different laptops, and I don't see that as being a common complaint with our machines. Maybe once in a blue moon. So it's one of those things where we could send out 1,000 laptops and 2 of them might have coil wine, and at what point it has coil wine as well. So we do the best to have the best, VRMs, chokes, capacitors, everything on the board that's not going to cause a ton of vibration and hopefully, cinch it down so it doesn't create coil wine. But I don't think that's been a big issue for us personally. Guy in the white car has ball control. That's all you, buddy. He's giving you props.
Thank you.
He's our pro Rocket League player. No,
Not pro.
no pressure. No pressure.
I sent you an invite, Bo.
You did.
Yep.
Oh yes, you did. Cool.
Evan, stick your shoes up for me real quick. No wonder you like this laptop so much.
Whoa, dude, your car is sick looking.
It's your account.
This?
Yeah.
This thing.
Yeah.
That-
I just made it.
Oh, that is my car. Nice. I just got this one last night. I didn't know I could make it look that cool. I'm such a noob with Rocket League. I play it with my son mostly, so.
Can everyone hear me right now? I see it said someone wrote stream is very quiet compared to other audio sources.
Why private match?
Whose audio source is quiet? Mine? Sure. What are we doing?
Fortnite laptop player, is your other name also Lego? Because I do know one of our one of our Discord members.
Why?
Yeah.
Why can't I make a private match?
I don't know.
It says it's locked.
Locked.
Yeah.
Ooh, are you excited for Counter-Strike
Yep, that's
2?
him. What's going on?
I am. I like the particle effects. What's that? Yeah. Yeah, I like how like the particle effects and smoke when that stuff billows and you could shoot through it and it really kind of morphs. That's pretty slick. I don't know if I'm going to be good enough to exploit that in online play, but I can't wait to see how that evolves over, let's say 6 months down the road after the game's released. And I think a game like that needs an update as long as it doesn't compromise the integrity of the gunplay, because people will show up somewhere with pitchforks if that is at all mixed up.
Wait, what are you doing?
Is FedEx here?
Contractor.
Said he didn't need help. So, should I get help?
I don't. Yes, I would.
Fortnite laptop player says this is Lego from Discord. I'm assuming that's the username Lego from Discord is going by the handle Fortnite Player on today's stream. What am I doing here?
Oh.
You ever want to talk?
Are you? Oh, you're no. Keep going. Keep going. I can keep talking.
Oh, no, you. Oh, I thought it was. Oh, that's an AI. You didn't join.
Oh.
I was wondering what was going on.
All right. So you're on blue. So I got to go orange.
Here, hold on.
Alejandro,
That's
our
fine.
warranty is in the United States. We only have a service center here. So if you have any issues, it does need to be shipped back to us. It is the customer's responsibility for shipping outside of the United States. It doesn't mean that we won't protect you, but you do have to get it back to us. And when we're ready to ship it back out, we also can only ship it to an address in the United States. So just an FYI on that one. Unless, I mean, I guess technically you could send it to a freight forwarder, but I mean, I've seen the horror stories where freight forwarders take
Okay,
stuff
so
out
I'm
and,
picking the
and
opposite of you,
steal
right?
things
Yeah,
and whatnot.
what do
But
you want? I'll go orange.
Okay. Oh my god. Evan's colors really are popping on this thing, man. This looks so good.
all right, so let's see if we have any stories that we can share. If anyone has
Send her.
a service or a return that about anyone, can you guys think of anything?
Yeah, the colors on this.
Because I've got a good one and I'm holding on to mine.
We once got
Keith?
a bag of wood pellets.
How about the shoes?
Oh, the shoes.
Talking about what?
Service or just an interesting service or a repair or something that we've gotten back that
I'm winning. If you think about it, that's my.
make
that's
sure you
my
unmute
profile.
your mic.
True, dude, it is true.
It's unmuted?
I don't know if anybody can hear me, but
You're good.
in regards to service, I'd say the craziest one I think I've seen come through. Customer said his
Nice.
wife
Sorry, I'm trying to do. I mean, not that I
drove
can beat you
over
anyway, but
his
I'm really paying
laptop with
attention to what those
their
guys
truck.
are doing.
As soon as it came in, I thought it would be
Gives
you
my
know,
slip
not
tick.
working at
Oh,
all.
yeah, I want to see that one.
As soon as I looked at it, obviously destroyed by a truck.
Sorry.
But then all of a sudden, open up the lid, turn it on, everything works perfectly fine. All you had to do is just swap out the chassis. But the entire chassis, like the entire outside of the laptop, was completely destroyed. Display still worked about halfway. I think that was our Mag 15U. Very thin, so I'm surprised that that thing still worked. But that'd probably be the craziest one that came across my desk. Anything for you?
Actually, my favorite laptop repairs are when a laptop gets sent to us and we specifically tell them in the email to package it properly or bring it to
Oh, he took
UPS
the
and have them
boost.
package them properly.
I'm out of boost.
And they end up sending it in a manila
Oh,
envelope.
did you do that on purpose?
Yeah.
You were so
I
nice.
think I remember we had a customer, it was either from Florida or Georgia, and they sent an RP15 back in a manila envelope.
It's like playing.
And he
against my
had to
son.
replace
He
the
just-
whole chassis on that whole system. And the only thing that we could salvage from that laptop was the motherboard. And that customer had to pay quite a lot of money for that chassis because the display was the most expensive part of that.
Yeah. And Keith, you said you just had someone today that was, if it fits, it ships apparently in a USPS box, like just squeezed in with bubble pack, or maybe it was Perry,
Surprisingly enough, there was no damage to it.
even though it had the AC adapter on top.
Yeah, so it was one of the US mailers. You know, it was probably 2 inches thick, and yeah, so it came in. I think it came in yesterday, and it was a Max 17, and literally just fit the box, and you know, you just feel it moving around and everything. Typically, when we see those, we think it's gonna be damage. But I got the mic right in front of
I
me.
understand. You still gotta speak up.
Anyways, so as soon as we got it and we opened it up, there was no damage to it. They had the laptop wrapped in bubble wrap, then they had the AC adapter right on top of that, wrapped in bubble wrap.
Play me like
Still no damage, nothing, but it's crazy. I think I've seen more damage to laptops when they ship in bigger boxes than I have in smaller boxes. Doesn't mean you're gonna ship them in smaller boxes. It's just crazy to see that when Matt and I get laptops in, we think there's going to be some crazy damage due to shipping, and then they're perfectly fine, other than the reason why they're in for. But other than that, I mean, I was surprised they opened it up yesterday and there was no damage whatsoever.
Farmer's gotten ones back where we've gotten returns from Amazon where it was supposed to be a laptop, and what we ended up was wood chips, or I mean, we've gotten insane returns where it's just. I remember one in particular that I had gotten back in HP. We were selling HP at the time, but we had gotten HP, and I went to get it, and it was a completely different, way older HP system. So I found out who it was registered to, and I brought it to. I contacted the person. I found out, looking through like the yellow pages, who it was. Contacted them and said, "Hey, like you've got our laptop, and you sent us back an old one." He goes, "Click." Hangs up on me. So I end up finding his mom's address. I call his mom, and she ends up forcing him to send it back. But I mean, this guy was just trying to exchange it to get something free out of it, just like many have tried on Amazon.
When did this happen?
This was back when we were selling HP.
Oh, so like well before my time.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, I feel like
Yeah.
I wouldn't forget that.
No,
story.
my ultimate return though. I don't know how well the audio is going to work on this one, but so we had a Microsoft Surface tablet that we were selling, and someone returned it like way old, and the guy had sent pictures. So he didn't reset it. He sent it like we were just going through the return, like siphoning just to make sure that it was all okay, and it looked all right. But then we start to go through, and inside of this, like it was a Windows 8 type tablet, so like you turn it on, and it has those tiles where it's like switching between photos and whatever else. I'm like, what is that? And you start looking at it, and it's this guy naked, and he's just like taking pictures of his butt, and just it was the weirdest thing. And I was just like, this is a biohazard. We cannot touch this. And I'm like, we have to like. And so I contact Amazon, and they're like, no, we're sorry, we can't help you. And I'm just like, I will not touch this. But the funniest part about it is one of my friends, I told him the whole story and everything about it. He's like, I'll take it, and he gave it to his mom.
All you have to do is just wipe it off.
Yeah, but that's still disgusting. It's really gross.
Wipe it before giving it?
Oh, he definitely
Okay.
cleaned it. Yeah, he definitely cleaned it.
I had to ask.
Actually, what I always recommend to customers is just keep their boxes until the warranty ends. And I understand the cost and the space that the box takes up, but to prevent any laptop from coming to us completely destroyed, and we actually print on the new boxes to keep the box until the warranty's done.
Yeah, which is something that, I mean, we've tried to emphasize for as long as possible. It just doesn't seem to make sense. I mean,
Well-
these are like designed to hold it, so it really does make sense to hold on to these boxes.
I mean,
and
there's
it's-
really no, I mean, I have Star Wars Lego boxes from when I was like 5, still in the attic. So there's really no excuses on that one.
Mhm.
Hello, Bob.
Sup, bitches?
How'd you go, Mr. Fortnite? Oh, he beat me up so bad, 6-1.
I know. That's why I did that.
And that was charity too. He could have easily gone 10-1. But,
You're the leader, so.
I'll have to bring Oren up here one day.
Yeah.
First of all, he would love it. Second of all, he could maybe give Farmer a run for his money.
Does he play Rocket League?
Yeah, I just started getting him into it a few weeks ago, and I was beating him for about 2 hours, and then he figured it out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's good.
Nice. Let's look at some questions. I've been looking.
Question number 1 is, can you turn up the volume?
No. This is the best you're gonna get it. I was not prepared for another microphone until it was late.
We can talk louder.
Yes.
We could.
Like, you gotta speak into the mic. Don't stop backing up and getting quieter. You gotta stay in the mic.
Yeah, Will.
I happen to see a comment
Oh, I didn't
from
know we were in.
Jessica
My
here.
fault.
I wonder if this is
All right.
Jess.
I didn't know.
Bubba is watching at home. Hi, Bubba. She's probably sitting there drinking a cup of coffee, sitting there with Ace, enjoying the stream.
Nice.
Coming back. Ooh, nice shot.
what's a backpack we recommend for carrying our laptops safely? That would be anything that's, I mean, if it's a 15-inch design or a 16-inch, anything like that in particular, I would just be careful with the LPP G2 if you're trying to put that in a backpack, just to make sure that it's, one, standing up, and two, you should technically take out that liquid.
So I actually just got a new backpack, especially for my laptop for work and everything. You know the Ridge wallet?
Oh, I have one.
So they came out with a backpack. Fits a 15-inch, 17-inch laptop perfectly. There's a fair amount of space in the front pocket because there's two pockets. One in the back is the padded one for your laptop, which again would fit either the Mech 17, Mech 16, or any of our units. Other than the thick 17, I'd probably say it wouldn't fit that. But it would fit any one of our laptops. And with the LPP, I'd say in the front it would. I mean, I obviously wouldn't have anything too crazy in there, but I've had that probably since Christmas. I have no issues. Plus, it's comfortable.
Yeah.
So, and you can use it for virtually anything else as well.
Ooh, nice shot.
But other than that, I don't really have.
Yeah, we've looked into backpacks, we've looked into cases, haven't found anything that was spectacular for it exactly, and I'm nitpicky when it comes to making sure whatever we're putting in our name behind is the best. Yeah.
What I always recommend to customers is have your LPP at your home station where you're going to be utilizing your laptop the most. If you're ending up traveling with the LPP, which it does get a little bit fishy depending on what LPP you're traveling with because of the liquid to it. So if you're finding that you're actually utilizing it both at work or at home, just get two. The less times that you have to carry around this system with you, in my opinion, the longer longevity. You won't have to worry about it getting damaged because it does have plastic. And it might not be built as robust as the laptop, taking hits or moving it within a laptop case, because there's no case designed for the LPP. It would have to go on an outside sleeve or an outside, hopefully padded area. So, and even in the backpack, maybe there's books in there, and there's a laptop sleeve area. So you'd have the laptop sleeve in there, and then you'd have the LPP in the other section. So it might not be as padded as some people may hope to keep it protected.
That's sound advice. Honestly, it really is. I mean, if you are really concerned about taking the LPP with you, wherever that place may be, just get another one, or dial the wattage back a little bit so there's some sort of sanity when you're using it in an environment in which you're not really favoring those loud fan acoustics. But as far as the backpack goes too, if it were me and I didn't have a clue, like I don't even know what backpack to use, I'm going to take my laptop, I'm going to walk in the Best Buy, and I'm going to go over to the area and I'm going to try a few out and see if it fits. They're not going to kick you out of the store. Why not? Just try it. I think it'll be funny. And plus, they might say, what kind of laptop is that? And that's good for us. So
I'm just scrolling up a little bit. Ninja, earlier you had said that Gizmo Slip had done some testing with a Neo 17 and that the MSI laptop would do circles around ours. Because if that's the case, that is not correct.
yeah.
And you can say that we have the same chassis, but that does not mean our performance is anywhere near the same thanks to our Prima mod, thanks to our customizations that we've made. And so there's... we actually did last week our stream, the MSI GT77 Titan versus ours, and there's zero chance any laptop in the market with the same hardware can do circles around our laptops.
And for the record, we're looking for that laptop too. I mean, it's not like we are not. And Will took the GT77 home with him. He had it for every bit of 10 days, trying to put that machine's best foot forward. We have no problem getting beat. We are just looking for the device that will do that because it helps us move forward. We just haven't found it yet. And as far as I'm concerned, and you as well, I think the GT77 was touted as the top dog. And I think we handily did well against that one.
Yeah. Yeah. there's something else I missed. Desktops. Yeah. How long have we talked about desktops? And I've
Ever
wanted
since
to
I've
have
been here.
I've
That's
wanted
so
to have a
funny.
desktop. I want the perfect case, and I
We
can't
have
give up
cases
until we have
scattered
it.
all over this place. From,
We do.
from testing out to get there's a lot of stuff that's gone into it, and if you only knew. But Will has done so much. I mean, we even met with some individuals while we were at CES to possibly get certain pieces of hardware to be able to begin building a case. I know that's vague, but trust me, this has been something that has been discussed long before I even got here a year and a half ago. So
Yeah.
I do see the future for that for us. May not be this year, but I am certain it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, in fact, we did blow out almost
Nice.
all the cases that we
We brought in a ton of cases.
used to
Yeah.
house.
I thought we had something, and then it wasn't good enough, so we just sold it off on eBay.
Yeah.
Those MATX cases, we have 3 left out of the
Yeah.
5 pallets. Not 3 pallets, we have 3 cases left. No, the ones with the glass side panel. They're all sold except for 3 individual cases. So. MATX.
Yes, a pre-built desktop
mid-size.
base.
And I think we're leaning towards a micro ATX form factor for that too. So
I-
not the mini, not the super small one, but the mid-size.
Which puts yourselves into a needle in a haystack scenario, because to have a 4090 inside of a micro ATX case is near impossible.
Yeah.
And that's what I would love to have, especially because most of the time, that GPU is taking up so much of it anyway. If you use an ATX board, all you're doing is pretty much using a larger case as a result.
Sure.
And there's not much, I don't know. As long as it has a four DIMM slot for the memory on the micro ATX case and the proper cooling, I think it would be an excellent solution. But so we've looked at custom cases. I've talked to case suppliers that make for MSI, for instance. I think it's called the Aegis, AEGIS. It's a really nice case that they have for the
Yeah,
airflow.
I don't know that, Bob.
But still haven't gotten to where the case that we're looking for right now. So that's the holdup. Otherwise, we would be offering desktops, because I know plenty here are actually capable and have made desktops and would like to make desktops, but it's just getting the proper cases and something that we can put our name behind.
I think cooling's going to be the ultimate form factor with any desktop, because HP has had a struggle with.
Better than I thought.
I think we could do better than the 30L.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think
You're
anybody.
absolutely
I think anybody can do better than the 30 in
Right, yeah,
certain
that
instances.
was
That
I
120
haven't had
millimeter
much
cooler-
hands-on experience with any other desktop, so
Yeah.
I'm biased here.
Yeah,
You're
the
good.
40. We mentioned it last week. That 45L. That is a nicely cooled case, and it's a cool design. I just think that's it looks like a double-decker bus on the top of that thing. It's gigantic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That was.
Were there
Uh,
any prototypes at CES that caught your eye in terms of, hey, we could do something like that? For desktop cases, no. As a matter of fact, this year at CES, I thought it was kind of sparse. When we were there looking through the convention, I was like, this is surprising how empty it felt. But, yeah, I didn't.
Might have to revisit going to Computex again.
John just said we might have to revisit going to Computex again. Yeah.
There was one case that I liked. It had a couple letters and numbers, and it ended in the word woofer. But you.
Oh,
you
I
didn't-
remember
you
that
don't-
one now.
yeah,
Now I know what
but
you're
it had
talking
the
about.
wooden feet on it, which you didn't like.
Yep.
So there's dialogue that happens about this all the time. But that was one that I did dig that one a little bit,
No.
but I really don't think it would handle a 4090 lengthwise.
It is actually really funny, because now that I think about it, I think that woofer one you're talking about had like a cylindrical stand for its feet, and I said to Bob, I was like, I'm particular about my feet for the
Sure.
desktop case, and
He's a foot guy.
I got a foot fetish. Wearing slippers in here.
Yeah.
Never heard of anyone with a desktop foot fetish, but just wanted to look nice is all.
Probably easier to fit a 4090 if you liquid cool it.
Yeah, but then you'd have to run custom tubes and stuff like that. But I was down to the point of having our all of our cables would be RGB, and they would actually be like cut to the T. So I wanted to get it to the point that we were having it done at a mass quality level where it was like every cable was down to where so cable management wasn't an issue because it was actually designed for that case. But obviously MLQs and whatnot, that's not even the concern right now. It's still just finding the right case.
It gets interesting at that point too, because if you take ownership of a desktop design that was tailor-made for all the components that are within it, a desktop is notoriously made to be upgraded 1, 2, 3, 4 years down the road. However, you may have it depending on your own personal preferences and pockets. What happens if you put in a different cooler later on down the road and the original cable management doesn't line up to the new solution? So do we need to stock those cables? It just gets a little challenging at that point. Does that make sense, Will?
Yeah.
Go for it again.
Who's winning the Rocket League right now?
No.
The Rocket League? Who says that? I'm
We're
such a
playing
noob.
duos right now.
Oh, okay.
You missed a really clean play between us. I don't boost, so
I got it.
Maximum
Nice.
battery life, that's a question that I personally never like to answer because I forget what actual program tests that, but I don't believe that counts as anything factual at all. That's what most manufacturers follow of like, oh, it can get 9 hours of this, but really it's just sitting there at idle, not doing a thing, and it's not the way that anyone
250 nits watching YouTube.
would ever use it. Yeah, and so that type of thing, those programs that assess it, we've never even tried it because I don't think it's worth to, because then it actually all put yourself in this situation of saying, well, it's false advertising. It said it could get 7 or 9 hours, but it never gets that because it's not real world scenario. And so there's so many different factors that can change it. Your RGB keyboard lighting, your RGB light bar in the back, the lighting, how much your display is illuminated. If you have Wi-Fi on, which everyone typically does, I mean, all those different things are going to have a factor to your battery life. So unfortunately, I can't give an answer of what to expect. All I can say is it has the largest battery possible that you can carry on to an airplane. You can't go any higher there. In such case, the only thing that changes it is the tuning that Intel can do for one, their wattage, two, the sleep commands and all those different things that's working with that are having issues. And I've said before, AMD does do a better job with battery life in terms of how long things can last on that same exact watt-hour battery.
oh my
Yeah, and actually I have something to add to that because
I got hit.
back when we released the RP15 with the 20 series GPU
And the 4800H.
and the
what?
4800H
No.
CPU, there was an issue with the battery life because some customers were reporting 2 to 4 hours of battery life, which in my opinion is most likely what you're going to see with any type of laptop,
Like gaming-oriented.
gaming-oriented
Gotcha.
laptop that has a GPU that doesn't have a mux switch that you could switch to strictly iGPU. Anyway, somebody on Reddit posted up about the tuning abilities, so what Will was talking about, and they said everything that they posted in, they were able to change some of the power plan settings in Windows, change some of the NVIDIA settings. They were able to get 9 hours of battery life. Now, realistically, actually utilizing the laptop with all those settings changed, I would assume it should be somewhere about 5 hours strong. But
With the 13th gen. Are we talking about our own 13th? Or are you still
this is
referring
still
to the
the
RP?
26
Okay.
the RP laptop. So I always recommend customers turning off a bunch of this stuff. So after reading some of this and doing some of my own testing in-house, some of the recommendations that I always give to customers if they are complaining or questioning about a larger or longer battery life on their system is to turn off some of those settings, because we really do see an improve of battery life. It's going to obviously be different when you're actually utilizing the system rather than just letting it sit at idle. So again, you're comparing apples to oranges. Like, you can have the system sit at idle and have Windows guess how long the battery should last for, which could be 13 hours possibly on a thin 15, but actually utilizing it, you're
Yeah.
using the CPU power most of the time only, and you're just not going to see that
No.
hours.
Right.
There might be some things you could do to further iterate to what Matt was saying about 13th gen, especially with the Prima Mod BIOS, is if you really want to do this, go in there and just disable the performance cores. That's a weird recommendation to have because it's such a niche solution. So 1 out of 100, 5 out of 100, maybe. But those possibilities are there because of the mod, which is great. Those that want to do it, fine. I would have a hard time as somebody who works here is making a video about that, saying that that's okay, because that is an extra layer and an extra step. That's something that I would not expect my mom to do. You know what I mean? Maybe my son, who's a bit more tech savvy, but I don't know if that's a fair recommendation, but it is a solution should you seek it. We are at the limitations of the hardware that we can put inside these systems, and we try to do the best we can, but we are at the mercy of Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA. So take that for what it's worth. We do have the potential there, just like anyone else. You can extract it should you wish. Have at it. If you need any help, just message me.
Or message support.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, email us out. We can definitely get you something put up.
These are questions that you handle daily.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Myself and my team handle daily, just
Yep.
answering questions about how they can maximize, some of them, how they can maximize their battery life, how they could get better performance out of their system. So doing the tuning guides, which I always recommend over to look at Bob's videos on all of our systems, because his guides are pretty thorough, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I spent about 40 seconds on the laptop that's on the stream right now with the Riva Tuner overlay, and that's running on air, and it's very quiet. It's performing quite well, and it's running very cool. So,
And if anybody else notices these magic hands over here, that's Mr. Perry in the videos, the repair videos.
we call him Repairy.
The funny part is though, every time I watch the video, I say to Perry, I basically have to turn my laptop upside down or the screen upside down because I'm like, I look at it the opposite direction that Perry does his repairs.
No kidding.
I can't do it the direction that you do it, Perry. It's just
Well, you know, Brian said the same thing when I first started.
yeah.
Ever since 3 years ago when I first started, that's how I had the laptop.
Yep.
But he would always come up to me and he'd try to help me with a repair. He would always flip it.
Yeah.
So
So he'd have the battery up at the top, is what you're saying, right?
yeah, I just
And you know why it's like that? Because as a repair technician or any of our technicians that we have, having the stuff that you actually work on towards you, so we're always working on motherboard style of stuff. So the fans or the cooler, the motherboard, like popping off all that stuff is a lot easier when you're using your full body.
So wait, so how do you have it designed?
I have it.
You have it the way I
Yeah.
have it? Okay.
No
I'm
way.
Not that weird.
What way is the battery towards you? The battery towards your body or away from your body?
Away from your body.
No.
I always had the battery towards me.
Yeah, if I'm doing a repair, if
so
I was
yeah.
doing something, the battery would be towards me. You do it the opposite way, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, the battery's away from you.
But you do it.
Battery towards me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't. I don't know.
Maybe it's old versus young.
No.
Oh, William is definitely an old fart there. Yeah.
I actually
Only
am
old people
old at
get
heart, that's for
Cadillacs.
sure. It's a different type of Cadillac. As a matter of fact, you were driving today and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Don't
no,
tell them
you-
that I
you
might
fu-
have to
yeah.
buy another car, okay?
Yeah. Hopefully Mackenzie's not watching the stream.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's not,
Consider insulting Garrett. Matt's grounded when he gets there.
I figured, yeah.
She shut down his account.
Yeah, the battery's definitely away from me, though.
I-
Just like on the videos.
Ever since I started, that's just how it's been.
Yeah.
It's more comfortable.
Mhm.
And
It's crazy.
as bad as it sounds, BJ, every time when I'm on the phone with the customer,
Prima even says battery away.
I tell them to rotate it the way that I do repairs. So mentally, so I don't have to have the laptop in front of me.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, is the battery in front of you or far away from you? They're like, oh, it's closest to me. I'm like, no, flip it. Just
Same.
so I can mentally be like, okay, this is where everything is,
Yeah.
because I'm just so comfortable that way.
Wow.
know, I
Prima,
even
Prima
s-
does the battery away too. Yeah, you're right.
You know,
Yeah.
I even saw those DIYs, whoever put those together, they all have the batteries away. So, you know, if you're following the DIY videos, you're doing it right, all right?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the videos that Bob records with Perry? Because
And
or are
the
we talking about something else?
DIY PDF
mean-
files that were put together by somebody. What motherboard is in the Mech 17G2? Trying to find a diagram online. Oh, so all the motherboards for most of these systems are going to be nothing that you can purchase off the shelf.
Yeah,
Because the
there's-
CPU and the GPU are soldered to the motherboard, they're kind of made specifically for that chassis and that generation. That's why some customers are requesting heat sinks and stuff for older generation laptops. It's not possible because that chassis is all designed around, or the chassis, sorry, is designed around the motherboard.
Yeah, and there's definitively no way to just go and buy one of these motherboards just off the shelf. There's nothing like that. You're right, Matt.
Or even a heatsink. You can't, again, fit that previous generation heatsink to a newer generation laptop. So if you wanted a LPP, because of the way and if you look at our videos online, they show the inside of the laptop.
Oh,
You'll be able to see
yeah.
the way that heatsink is attached to that LPP. It's not possible to convert that to an older system.
Yeah, and Wasted Suede, if your question is just trying to find where the motherboard, or sorry, the wireless card is on that, that's a simple solution. Once you pop that off, it should be on the far right-hand side. If the battery is facing you, if you're facing the battery, it should be on your far right side as you come up right below the fan.
If you're doing it the right way,
Ah.
it's gonna be on the left side,
yeah.
right underneath the battery.
You can't miss it. No
Yeah.
matter what.
And if you need a diagram, you can always email us out, support@eluktronics.com. Our support technician should be able to answer that and provide a diagram with a picture and it highlighted up. No problem. Any part that you need to know what's on the laptop, how to take apart like a fan connector, anything like that. If you can't find it online, you can email us out, support@eluktronics. We'll be more than happy to help you out with that.
Real quick, hey, Evan, Prima's saying that it's not the balance between the mics. He thinks it's the overall master volume that needs to go up. Is there anything that we can adjust for that or no?
Not really.
I can just turn all these knobs. What do you think?
They're already all the way up.
I wonder
What
why.
about the one down here, the big box under the coffee table?
That's just the gain.
That's just the gain. That's strange because you can even see right there. It doesn't even, like,
No.
the audio is very low as I'm talking into this right now.
Where's the master volume? Is it on the laptop?
At this point, I don't know. There's too many buttons.
Oh, it looks like it, yeah.
It is. I checked earlier.
I was going to say it started way higher earlier. Yeah. Well, yeah, you can switch it. It's fine. I didn't think that system had it at this time.
Yeah, here.
So what else we got? Anybody have any questions?
Bob, do we have one of the laptops that have the back panel off?
No, but we have had them here.
Okay.
Street, which is not at the moment.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just turning knobs over here.
Would you ever consider sponsoring a streamer? Jonathan Lee wants to know if we would consider sponsoring a streamer.
I don't know if we have funds for something like that, to be honest. But what type of streaming do you do?
I'll become a streamer.
Oh yeah. Pop F and Someone's adopted child. I love that.
We love this laptop.
Yeah.
Can you change the color of the this? It goes by color mode. So
Stop.
Do you know it has RGB, but you need to customize that. It's just something we have to talk about with TF internally.
Bob, you want to log this back in so we can see the questions?
Y'all say.
That's it. Hmm.
This looks good.
Yeah.
Come on.
Harry, you wore your black and white for that laptop too.
I knew it.
for a different reason.
I did too. I got that black and white on.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of white.
Perry's not a huge fan of the black and white, while many of us really love it.
I don't know. I just personally, I mean, my work laptop is black. My
Nice.
desktop at home is black and blue. I like the black and blue look.
Coming,
But I mean, I will say it's a difference, you know, and pretty much because the Max 15 was that silver color, and then you know we got this white one, so it's a nice
thank
change
God.
up to it.
That would have been annoying.
So
Can we see the keyboard of the Prometheus 716?
Nice.
So
I'm back.
it's basically going to be the same as the Mech 17 GP, but it's going to be a membrane style of keyboard.
The look of it's also different though because there's a white surrounding on the keys, whereas the other one doesn't have that for the cherry switches.
Right, so more of like our RP15, RP17 style of keyboard keycap style, where it has that diffuser light that goes around the keycap.
Yeah.
So it's pretty slick in my opinion. And those RGB lights in the front are super bright, and then you got that RGB in the back of the laptop as well.
And the RGB on the bars are far brighter than the actual keyboard itself, especially for the membrane, which is interesting because typically the RGB light bars hardly ever have enough illumination, and now it has more than it's actually almost overwhelming if you can turn it down, but yeah.
yeah, no, I was looking at it earlier before the stream, and it kind of surprised me how bright it was.
Yeah.
But I will say, even though I'm not a huge fan of the white, I do like the keyboard, and I do like the RGB lights on it and everything.
Yeah. See,
I mean,
I
all
had,
in all, it's a slick laptop.
yeah, I had mentioned that the numeric keypad, the whole keyboard itself could have been a cherry keyboard, but again, this is supposed to be more of a budget. I wouldn't even call it budget because it's premium all throughout still, but it's just, I mean, as a matter of fact, like I was going back and forth. Do we do the liquid metal? Do we go with a standard thermal compound? Because that's obviously a decent added cost at a factory level, and I couldn't give it up. We had to go with the liquid metal again because I just couldn't give up on our thermals. But I do like the fact that it's basically, as you look at the membrane keyboard, the surround, it looks like it's black and white. It follows the rest of the system. Somebody last week had asked whether or not we were going to have any more accessories. I had said no, and that's actually incorrect because I'm working on an entire accessory line specific to this color. So I guess it's still even wrong because I had said originally we're not going to have new accessories. We were going to have a different version of our covert cans that will look like that, except in black and white. We're working on a mouse pad, and we're also a mouse. That is actually a different mouse entirely. It's looking to be about like 58 to 64 grams in weight, and it's nice. It's very lightweight, and that would be in black and white as well.
Nice. Scared me there. You got it.
Oh, nice.
Yep. Nice. Kid left already.
On Afterburner, I can't adjust the sliders except for memory and clock. Is there a way to fix that?
All right, so regarding the Afterburner sliders on a desktop card, you'll be able to control voltage and things like that. For laptops, they are locked down. You can tweak the voltage with the voltage curve editor. You can do that by pressing, I think it's Control F, and then go in there and fine tune it that way. But it is not like a desktop in that regard. It kind of needs to be that way too, because people will be burning out GPUs on motherboards left and right by overvolting them. But you will just have core clock and memory clock adjustability through Afterburner, or pretty much any other third party, whether it's Asus, what is that, GPU tweak, EVGA. I don't know if they still have their Xtune thing, if that still works, and of course the control center, which is pretty much all you need. So, nope, pretty simple for laptops, not just exclusive to ours, but just overall gaming laptops do work that way.
You just think of that? Nice.
How is it 1-to-1, guys, and it's only 10 seconds in?
I wasn't paying attention for the first goal, and then they gave us a free one after.
Oh, that was nice.
Goal.
Any other questions? I mean, I think we're probably, going to close this down at 4 o'clock, so
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Yep. And appreciate that, Jonathan Lee. Thanks.
Damn.
Just the ball.
I was. Oh, you.
What do you guys think of this setup in here?
Yeah.
Keith, Matt, Perry?
Just missing a projector.
Oh.
I mean, that's all. My mind.
Probably some more
About-
camera angles and some more microphones, because having this is like a little bit too far away, in my opinion.
I saw someone mention a cardioid mic for the whole room or something like that for picking up audio. We still gotta. I know Evan was hesitant to do this to begin with because the way the audio was set up, he didn't like, like with how many people there are in the room.
I told you to stand up for yourself.
It's fine.
What's weird though, Evan, is like actually it sounds like it's loud right there. I'm talking into the mic right now, and it down here it doesn't seem like it's picking up much, but
No, it doesn't down there.
huh.
Was that you?
Yeah.
Still a good setup though.
Yeah. This, like I said, this really reminds me of what my basement was in Delaware. And that's why that was the screen from Delaware, and like putting a projector there just it gives you the same speakers, everything from it.
You already finished up the ceiling though.
What about it?
You got to get the wires going through the ceiling.
Yeah, you can get it from the hallway.
For the next 2 weeks, you can.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go.
Just running out of time.
Missed. No.
He missed.
Are there any more questions?
Hear that on the mic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably.
Boost.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. How long have all of you been working here?
2 days.
So farmer just asked how long everyone's been working here.
Matt, since the beginning?
Way back in my time. No, it's been November of 2019. So, almost
Keith, you
coming up
started
on
at the same
4
time
years.
as Matt, right?
October 2019.
That's what it was. It was October.
You and 2 weeks, yeah. Somebody else we started. I've been at this for 33 years.
So was I September or October of 2019?
You were there
'Cause
when
that
I
was-
got there, so you were like at least September.
Okay. Yeah, so September 2019, I started. So.
We're coming up on 4 years.
John, how about yourself?
This is my 6th year.
His 6th year, and you started. What do you remember? What month it was?
Yeah, September of 17.
September of 2017.
It's only been 6 years.
You got your hands in
Only been 6 years.
everywhere.
Farmer and Evan, what about you guys?
I'm a quick learner.
I don't remember when I started.
Farmer says he doesn't remember.
I think
It
Farmer,
was the
I-
winter of
it-
2019.
Was it?
Yeah, you rode your bike to work in the
No,
snow.
I don't think. No. It had to have been.
I swore it was a year.
It had to have been 2020.
Yeah, it was 2020.
Because I worked here a full year before he.
Yeah, it was 2020 for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it must have been 2020 because I came in right at the end of tax season. I remember looking at my thing and looking at it and being like, oh, well, it's only a month.
You mentioned heat issues with the 6400. So just a little update on the 6400 megahertz. We have some officially passed samples in the 16 gig. We don't have it in 32 gig yet, but the 6400 megahertz is on the way to us for samples. It doesn't mean that's that's also for us to continue our testing. But the 32 gig is still not passing from heat, and that's going to continue on for right now because it's a different die. Is everything right? And I guess FedEx is here. That's why people are rushing out. Or UPS. Yeah, so that's the update on the memory there. Evan, when did you start?
September of 2021.
September of 2021. And Bob?
August 2021.
2021.
Oh, August 2021. Thank you, Perry. Unmuting my microphone.
And I guess I'm the only one who would be February of 2011.
No way.
Yep. But it looks like I guess it's time for shipping to go out for today. So
Yeah, we should
everyone's
probably get back to
all
work.
hands on.
Evan,
But
you want to do the honors of powering this thing down? Control Alt Delete.
thank you, everyone. Hope you have a good day. Delaware crew.